Part of this 25-lap A main on their home track here at Alexandra Speedway. The drivers moving into position to stand alongside their car in readiness to receive their placards for qualifying into the A main, being one of the 22 finalists. Without further ado, we'll bring Greg Lynn forward along with Rob Patterson from Raslar Engineering, starting from position number 22, the V19 of Karina Barton. Out of position number 21 from the Dubbo City Speedway Club in New South Wales, Jackson Goldie. Out of P20, one of the Raslar Engineering Mitsubishi Lancers from here in Alexandra, River Patterson. From P19, all the way from Narrogin in Western Australia, finished third in this event 2 years ago. For Narrogin Earthmoving, Brody Day. And the first of your B main winners from P18 from Mildura, Victoria, the V15, it's Will Shaw. And the second of the Patterson brothers, the older of the two, the V48, Lincoln Patterson will go from P17 and the national title A main on his home track. The first of the automatic qualifiers from position number 16, and the red line roll cage is Mitsubishi Mirage from the northern suburbs of Perth, the West Australian champion, Bo Oldfield. From P15, the third generation driver from the Bundaberg Saloon Car Club, Q11, Curtis Peel. From P14, she finished runner-up in the Tasmanian title down at Carrick in February. From right here in Alexandra, the V10 of Bree Simpson. Out of P13, a heat race win yesterday afternoon in the V12, Nathan Miles in the Mitsubishi Lancer. And this young fella travelled 4,000 kilometres one way to be there this weekend from the Hillview Speedway Club in the East Pilbara region in Western Australia. Donnie Davis in the WA number 3 TLC Contracting Mitsubishi Lancer. Out of P11 from northern New South Wales from the Lismore Automobile Club, it's Jaden Santon in the Mitsubishi Lancer. Now into our top 10, the Q32 from Bundaberg in Queensland, Kane Richters. Out of P9 with 2 heat race wins this weekend, the Q12 Mitsubishi Mirage, Brody Hollyman. And plenty of noise for this young man, another one of the locals in the V49, a member of the Alexandra Speedway Club, Jaden Bryant will go from P8. From position number 7, 2 heat race wins this weekend, the current South Australian champion, Aaron Trenter. Now into our first 3 rows, the Queensland champion from the Gympie Saloon Car Club, the Q28, it's Aidan Rigby. Out of position number 5 in the Q23 from the Gold Coast, Harry Fowler in the Mitsubishi Mirage. From the outside of the second row, from the Maryborough Sporting Car Club, the Q7, Jaden Hancock. Out to position number 3, the 2021 Tasmanian Junior Sedan champion. It's the T48, Lockie Robbins. And your front row, one of 2 drivers to go through the weekend undefeated in the KCLD Cleaning W95 from Kalgoorlie in Western Australia, Kane Della. We'll start on the outside of the front row. And out of Mildura, the VA10, 144 points. He's put himself on pole position. Let's have a big round of applause for your pole sitter, Carter Metcalf. They're your 22 finalists in the Raslar Engineering 2022 SSA National Junior Sedan title.
And what a field it is, Alan Smallwood. Drivers are beginning to strap back into their cars. And we see, for those tuned in at home on Speedway Sedans Live, powered by Pro One Race Pass, and everybody here at the venue, your 22-car starting lineup is ready to roll here. They're all getting strapped in by their parents. Alan Smallwood, what an exciting time of the night.
Yeah, making lifetime memories are these competitors in this national final for junior sedans. The A-Main, Carter Metcalf, just getting the last few words of instructions from his dad ahead of this 25-lap final, as is Kane Della, who's got older brother Lockie just offering some last few moments of advice before this A-Main. The Della family, passionate about Speedway out of Kalgoorlie in Western Australia, big supporters through their business KCLD Cleaning. Lockie Robbins, what a mammoth season he's had racing at home in Tasmania and also in the mainland with the two cars, one based in Tassie and one in this part of the world. It's been a big season for him, all in readiness for this weekend and also the Victorian title right here at Alexandra next weekend as well. Jaden Hancock has had a pretty strong season in Queensland. He starts on the outside of the second row in this A-Main over 20 laps. Jason Oldfield just giving his son Bo last bit of instruction as well. Bo would be, if you told him this morning that he'd qualify automatically for the A-Main, he wouldn't have believed you. There's a lot of work to do on that Mirage overnight to turn it around and to get in by the skin of his teeth without having to go through the B-Main. Must have been a huge relief for the team from Oldfield Racing. Aidan Rigby from the Gympie Saloon Car Club as his dad Doug, just making sure the safety equipment's all put on correctly and buckled in, ready for this 25-lap main event. You can feel the tension in the air. It's been over 2 years since we've run a national title for junior sedans, and it's a thrilling climax to what's been a great weekend of racing from Australia's best junior sedan drivers. Every state and territory represented this weekend, including the ACT. We had Jack Murphy out of the ACT and River Spitzpath from the Northern Territory amongst the field, taking on the drivers from the states around the country. And it's only going to be a few moments before we're going to fire these engines into life. Jared Ash.
Yes, you see final preparations for everybody, making sure everyone's strapped in safely as they're supposed to be. You see Brody Holliman and his father Luke, the fluorescent yellow gloves going on in the Q12 machine. Doug Rigby, father of the Queensland champion Aidan Rigby, just making sure the window net is up and secure. Beside them, Grant Fowler and his son, the hard charger, the Flash, Harry Fowler. Final preparations for those guys. Window net up and secure, helmet on. Young Kane Richters from the Bundaberg region in the number 32 machine for Immortal Roll Cages, and his father Glenn beside him. And there you see our two cars that have gone through the weekend undefeated. Kane Della in the KCLD number 95, and our pulse sitter Alan Smallwood. Young Carter Metcalf, what would be going through the mind of those two gentlemen right now?
Yeah, just be trying to keep themselves calm would be the biggest challenge for them at the moment. Just trying to keep themselves all in check ahead of this final. Nervous time in the racing career of these young drivers. And the two Hyundai Excels qualifying on the front row, then Mitsubishi products in the next two rows after that. The first of the Daihatsu Charades being Aaron Tranter in the S45, going from position number 7. Cars look an absolute treat on that freshly prepared Alexandra Speedway front straight as the engines fire into life here at Alexandra. They're all standing on their feet here in the front straight. High anticipation of this race. to say the least. The junior sedans set to fly over the 25 laps around the Alexandra Speedway. This is going to be a fascinating 25 laps. Truly have the best 22 cars in the field this weekend in this A main. And hats off to all the crews, all the teams, all the families involved in all 75 cars that have taken part in the national title here at Alexandra. They're going to go 3 wide, I believe, as we roll around.
I do have a cameraman on the back straight. Don't go green yet. I've got a cameraman on the back straight. All good. Sweet.
3 wide for 2 circulations around the Alexandra Speedways. Our guys and girls in this final get themselves into position. And if you're here at the racetrack, it is a historic moment in the history of the Alexandra District Speedway Club. A national title for junior sedans. Their first national title under the Speedway Sedans Australia umbrella. Club with a rich history here in Central Victoria of Speedway sedan racing. And get up on your feet. Wish the 22 finalists all the best. Alexandra, where are you? Let's make some noise. Let's hear you. Send these guys and girls on their way. Give them a big round of applause. Take plenty of photos. Upload them to Instagram, Facebook, whatever your social media account is. Put your hands together for our 22 finalists.
22 of the best in the country are here, rolling around 3 wide here at Alexandra Speedway. This is your 2022 National Junior Sedan title. And there are plenty happy faces amongst the fans, amongst the parents, amongst the supporters, the families, the brothers, sisters and pit crews, and most importantly, the Alexandra Speedway Car Club are very pumped to see this 22 car field on the track for their feature race here. It is the National Junior Sedan title for Razzler Engineering, and Alan Smallwood will have your call. What a sight that was, Smalley.
Absolutely sensational. Goosebump sort of stuff from the junior sedans here at Alexandra Speedway. This is going to be a fantastic finale to a big 3 days here in Victoria. One more rolling lap before we will give them the green flag. Carter Metcalf and Kane Della undefeated in the heat race competition. Remarkable when we overfilled this size. 75 competitors doing battle across the weekend, and they go through undefeated. A Victorian and a West Australian. Lockie Robbins from Tasmania and Queensland's Jaden Hancock to go from row 2. Queensland 23, Harry Fowler, and the Queensland 28 of Aidan Rigby to go from the 3rd row. Aaron Tranter, Jaden Bryant, Brody Holloman, and Kane Richters. Your first 5 rows, 22 finalists. Watch for the 2 Patterson boys in their Razzler Engineering. Lancers to come from a long way back on their home track. The West Australian champion, Bo Oldfield, going from P16. And a former state champion, the former Tasmanian champion, Lockie Robbins, going from position number 3. Flashing yellow lights. We're going to get a start next time around. It's time to get up on your feet, Alexandra. Yell, scream and shout. The Razzler Engineering SSA National Junior Sedan title, A main over 25 grueling laps, is set to go green as they roll out of turn number 4. Carter Metcalf and Kane Della, your front row. And we are underway in the A main for 2022. The 2 Hyundai Excels side by side. They sail off into turn number 1 for the first time, and Carter Metcalf has the race lead. Kane Della settles into 2nd place. Rear gun behind the 10 in front of him, Lockie Robbins. And getting amongst it early is Harry Fowler and the South Australian champion, Aaron Tranter, as Fowler's gone around. And we've got a big stack down in turns 3 and 4. Curtis Peel caught up in it, as is a couple others. And Curtis Peel, his race will be over. He has had one of the wheels come off the Q11 in the crash down there in turns 3 and 4. Kane Richter's caught up in it, as is the V10 of Bree Simpson, one of the locals in this final on her home track. Hopefully not too much damage for any of the competitors down there. Very slowly out of turn number 2, coming back around for a start. Our Junior Sedans looking an absolute treat under lights. This A main at the Alexandra Speedway. First ever national title under the Speedway Sedans Australia umbrella for the Alexandra Speedway in Victoria. Done a remarkable job this weekend. A fantastic hidden gem of Australian Speedway, to say the least, is this venue here in the beautiful township of Alexandra. Carter Metcalf and Kane Della. Once again, the two undefeated drivers in the heat race competition will lead them to the green flag. A second attempt to get this A main for the Rassler Engineering SSA National Junior Sedan title underway. And Carter Metcalf straight away just trying to take that line away from the 95 of Kane Della as they entered turn number 1. Bo Oldfield, three-quarter track guy, making his way forward already, as is Kane Richters and Nathan Miles. And Will Shaw, one of our B main winners, is up into around 12th place early in the Adam Holt Industries V15 from Mildura. But speaking of Mildura, your race leader, Carter Metcalf, leads Kane Della, Lockie Robbins, Aaron Tranter and Aidan Rigby, your top 5 after the opening lap of 25 around the nearly 600 metre Alexandra Speedway. Jaden Hancock is 6th from Brody Holloman, Jaden Bryant and Bo Oldfield after lap number 1 has gone from P15 up into 9th place. He's on the charge early. He's the West Australian champion. Jaden Santin is 10th from Will Shaw, Donnie Davis, Kane Richters and Bree Simpson is in about 12th place at the moment. But Carter Metcalf has got clear of Kane Della. Aaron Tranter is clearly in 3rd. The South Australian champion from Adelaide. The Queensland champion Aidan Rigby battling with the T48 of Lockie Robbins, who's just holding off Rigby at the moment. Jaden Hancock is 6th from Brody Holloman. Jaden Bryant. Bo Oldfield now challenging Jaden Bryant for 8th place at the moment. Oldfield in on the inside of Bryant as they exit turn number 2. Look at Jaden Hancock and Aidan Rigby. They do this week in and week out in South East Queensland, having a fantastic scrap for 5th place in the national title here at Alexandra. I think Aidan Rigby just has the nose in front of Jaden Hancock. Another Queenslander just behind him in Brody Holloman. Bo Oldfield to the inside of Jaden Bryant. Oldfield on the low line goes into 8th place momentarily. Jaden Bryant trying to fight back. Will Shaw is 10th from the B main up into 10th place. Donnie Davis 11th from Kane Richters, Bree Simpson, Nathan Miles, Jaden Santin and Brody Day back there in about 16th place at the moment. In fact, he's 15th is the West Australian. From further back, Lincoln Patterson, Jackson Goldie, River Patterson, Karina Barton and Harry Fowler rounds them out. This absolutely flying around the Alexandra Speedway, our SSA Junior Sedans. There's 6 laps down this time around, and Carter Metcalf, his quick time of the race so far, a 21.990, which is some of the quickest times he set this weekend. In fact, it's the quickest time he's done in race competition. In the VA10 from Mildura, Kane Della, comfortable in 2nd at the moment from Aaron Tranter. Those top 3 have scooted away. Lockie Robbins now has put a bit of real estate between himself and Aidan Rigby. Sits in 5th as the Queensland champion. Jaden Hancock is 6th. Bo Oldfield now 7th from Jaden Bryant. Behind Jaden Bryant in 9th place is Brody Holloman. And rounding out your top 10, Will Shaw. As our SSA Junior Sedans absolutely flying around the wide open spaces here at Alexandra. We've been going for just on 3 minutes in this national title A main. 8 down and 17 remaining. And Carter Metcalf looks comfortable out in front. He leads by 1.6 seconds back to the 95 out of Western Australia of Kane Della for KCLD, cleaning the South Australian Aaron Tranter. A further 1.2 seconds back in the Daihatsu Charade. Lockie Robbins is 4th from Aidan Rigby. Jaden Hancock is 6th. Bo Oldfield is 7th. In the 84 for Nationwide Signs. For Auto Barn in Epping, it's Jaden Bryant. He's 8th. Brody Holloman 9th. Donnie Davis and Will Shaw battling at the back end of the top 10. Kane Richters, Bree Simpson, Brody Day. Brody Day now finds himself in 13th place in the number 8. The V12 of Nathan Miles after that from Lincoln Patterson and Jackson Goldie. But our leaders once again head past the start-finish line into turn number 1. 1.6 seconds, the gap staying the same between Carter Metcalf and the VA10 and the 95 of Kane Della. Aaron Tranter is 3rd. From Lockie Robbins, is just falling into the clutches ever so slightly of Aidan Rigby. We'll have 11 laps down and 14 remaining for Carter Metcalf, who's a huge Cameron Waters fan. as you would be if you're from Mildura. He's doing a great job out in front. The Mildura Crash Supplies, Hyundai Excel. Kane Della still second from Aaron Trenter. Aidan Rigby had a bit of a lunge to the inside of Lockie Robbins in turn number 1 that time around. And look at Aidan Rigby range up alongside of Lockie Robbins. Robbins trying to shut the door on the Queensland champion as they race past the Foodworks sign into turn number 3. Robbins going back around the outside of Aidan Rigby. Jaden Hancock still 6th from Bo Oldfield. Jaden Bryant is 8th. Brody Holloman and Donnie Davis still has Will Shaw for company in that battle for the final spot inside the top 10. The TLC contracting number 3 runs in 10th from Will Shaw. Kane Richters from Bundaberg is 12th. Brody Day is 13th from Bree Simpson and Nathan Miles. Your top 15 in this National Title A main. Brought to you by Rassler Engineering and Aidan Rigby. Now comfortably into 4th place to the inside of Lockie Robbins. We're halfway home. 13 down and 12 remaining. In fact, there'll be 11 to run for Carter Metcalf. He'll be getting extremely nervous. We've gone green so far without a stoppage after that initial accident on the opening lap. Now first attempt to get this National Title A main underway. But Carter Metcalf has now got out to 2.5 seconds back to Kane Della. He's got another 1.2 seconds back to the South Australian champion Aaron Trenter. Aidan Rigby will be praying for a stoppage. Back there in 4th, he's got a lot of real estate to make up. Jaden Hancock to the inside of Lockie Robbins. Robbins went super deep into turn number 3. And unfortunately, the T48 has gone upside down. Jaden Bryant nowhere to go. And a couple others have got caught up in it, including Brody Day and Will Shaw. A nasty accident in Pitt's corner. Lockie Robbins was trying to hold on to that position. He was being challenged into turn number 3. And the T48, unfortunately, on his lid in Pitt's corner. Lockie, the 2021 Tasmanian champion, and you can see the front end of the 12 of Will Shaw. I think Will's made heavy contact with the back of the 49 of Jaden Bryant, who was stationary, getting caught up in the accident. Our crash crew going to work, as well as our ambulance officers, to make sure Lockie is A-OK.
And a very welcome caution on the speedway for those guys running in 3rd, 4th and 5th. The front 2 cars had really skipped away in this one, Smalley, but those guys in 3rd, 4th and 5th, they've got some pace. They really just needed a piggyback back up to the field. And how is Bo Oldfield's form? From position 16 up to 6 in the first 14 laps. Smalley, what has he got for your leaders with this one? Still undecided. Still double-digit laps to go, so plenty of time for Mr. Oldfield to make some more forward progress.
Yeah, the length of a heat race plus 3 laps still remaining. Quick time of the race belongs to our race leader, Carter Metcalf, and the only driver to dip into that 21-second bracket with a 21.831 for Carter Metcalf. The yellow lights have gone out. Will we go the rest of the way without a stoppage? What will happen in these final 11 laps around the Alexandra Speedway? The green flag comes down and Carter Metcalf jumps on the loud pedal and leads him to the start-finish line and heads into turn number 1. And straight away, you know, Kane Della is not going to die wondering. He's going to try and see if he can find a way past Carter Metcalf. Aaron Trenter and Aidan Rigby just tuck into those top 4 positions. Jaden Hancock and Bo Oldfield sits in 6th ahead of Brody Holloman. Donnie Davis has restarted in position number 8 in his machine. So Jaden Bryant not able to restart. The V49 also out of the race, one of the locals from here in Alexandra. So Donnie Davis tackling the back of Brody Holloman in that battle for 7th place. The Queenslander versus the West Australian, who would never race against each other previously before this weekend. But Carter Metcalf continues to lead. He's led the first 16 laps in the VA10 out of Mildura in northwestern Victoria. From Kane Della as Jaden Santon retires from the race with a damaged right front strut on the Mitsubishi Lancer. Takes it to the infield in the Santin Quarry Products car from the Lismore Automobile Club. So the length of a heat race to go for Carter Metcalf. 8 laps remaining between himself and the first title victory of his career. Has never even won a state title. Has been on the podium in the South Australian title last year at Mount Gambier. He would love to become the national champion. He said it was 4 years in the making to race in a national title. In the VA10, they've been working overtime back in Mildura to get some car speed in readiness for this big couple of weekends, the national and Victorian titles here at Alexandra. He leads Lockie Della by 1.0 seconds. 1.03 back to Kane Della. In the 95, he's got Aaron Tranter trying to run him down. In the S45, the South Australian champion, can he reel in the KCLD cleaning number 95 of Kane Della in front of him? Aidan Rigby still fourth from Jaden Hancock. Bo Oldfield has got Brody Holliman and his fellow West Australian Donnie Davis for company. The battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. Oldfield just barely holding on at the moment as the West Australian champion. Holliman, Davis, Will Shaw and Nathan Miles, your top 10, as Lincoln Patterson trying to work his way forward as well. And the Rassler Engineering Mitsubishi Lancer. But we've completed 20 circulations of Alexandra. Just 5 to run for Carter Metcalf. Leads by 1.7 seconds back to Kane Della, who's about to fill the blowtorch from the South Australian champion, Aaron Tranter. Here comes the little charade. Running down that Hyundai Excel out of Western Australia in front of him. Kane Della, can he hold on to second? The Rev Right engines. The Hyundai motor is pumping hard. Aaron Tranter, Morse code on the back bumper of Kane Della through turn number 1 that time around. Tranter goes to the outside. The South Australian champion, 3/4 track guy. So race past the Food Works sign into turn number 3. Just 3 laps remain for Carter Metcalf. Aaron Tranter digging big time on the outside of Kane Della. What a great battle for 2nd and 3rd. South Australia versus WA. Della just holding off the South Australian champion at the moment. Aidan Rigby, the Queensland champion, still 4th. And rounding at your top 5 from Maryborough, the Q7 of Jaden Hancock. Bo Oldfield is 6th from Brody Holliman and Donnie Davis. Aaron Tranter gets it done. He goes around the outside of Kane Della into 2nd place with just 2 laps to run. Kane Della trying to fight back on the low line, but I think Aaron Tranter might have got the job done in the Daihatsu Charade, who does the majority of his racing over at Murray Bridge in South Australia. Here comes the white flag. 1 to run for Carter Metcalf, the Victorian from Mildura, leading Aaron Tranter now by 2.8 seconds. Kane Della is 3rd from Aidan Rigby, Jaden Hancock, and the West Australian champion Bo Oldfield is still 6th. But down the back straight for the final time. He's going to go through the entire weekend undefeated. From Mildura in Victoria, Carter Metcalf wins the SSA National Junior Sedan title. Kane Della gets Aaron Tranter on the line with an outstanding pass in turn number 4. Aidan Rigby will be 4th from Jaden Hancock, Bo Oldfield 6th. Donnie Davis got Brody Holliman on the final circulation to be 7th. Will Shaw will be 9th from Nathan Miles. Lincoln Patterson was 11th after that. We'll give you the official result in a few moments' time. But how about that, Victoria? Make some noise for your new SSA National Junior Sedan champion, the VA10 out of Mildura, Carter Metcalf. He's going to get the checkered flag and go on a lap of honour of the Alexandra Speedway. Undefeated in the heat race competition, and he's led all 25 laps to become the national champion. Kane Della and Aaron Trent also pulling up to give him the thumbs up. But everyone here in the front straight into turn number 1, make some noise for Carter Metcalf. He's absolutely delighted as a young man out of Mildura. Let's check the official dividends on that one. He defeats Kane Della by 3.125 seconds, who managed to find his way back around Aaron Tranter. Got there ahead of Aaron Tranter by 0.158 of a second. Aidan Rigby in the Q28 was 4th. 2.7 seconds back from Aaron Tranter. The Q7 of Jaden Hancock was 5th from Bo Oldfield. Donnie Davis at Para West Australian 6th and 7th. Brody Holloman was 8th from Will Shaw. Nathan Miles, Lincoln Patterson. Kyrena Barton was 12th from Bree Simpson. Harry Fowler, your 14 finishes. Jaden Santon completed 16 laps. Jaden Bryant completed 14, as did Brody Day, Kane Richters, Jackson Goldie, River Patterson and Lachlan Robbins, with Curtis Peel not completing a lap into Q11 to be 22nd overall. But Carter Metcalf is going to celebrate with a bit of tyre frying action down there in turns 3 and 4. Put your hands together for him if you're down there in the pit area. Carter Metcalf, a very excited winner of the SSA National Junior Sedan title.
Oh, what a display, Alexandra. How about it one more time? Make some noise. Your new national champion, the Victoria 10, Carter Metcalf. Making sure we keep the mosquitoes away. What a smoke show against the pit fence in front of family and friends. He's going to pull up here on the main straightaway. And we'll speak with our podium very, very shortly. Alan Smallwood heading trackside to catch up with a very excited national title podium. And a very pumped up Carter Metcalf pulls up on the main straightaway ahead of the Alexandra and District Speedway Club podium. What a weekend, what an event, and what a performance by your top three, Tranter, Della and Metcalf. Hancock and Rigby rounding out your top 5 here. So Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia and Queensland with a pair of cars in the top 5. He's about to climb from the car. And when he gets up on top of the roof, make plenty of noise, Alexandra. Your new National Junior Sedan champion, Carter Metcalf. I reckon he's plenty pumped up about that. And so he should be. Undefeated over the course of the weekend. And Mildura Speedway, a very proud club. And I'm sure all the Timbers Speedway members are very pumped up about that. He gets some horns, some lights flashing here. And here comes Kane Della. A beautiful show of sportsmanship. A big handshake. And the rest of his junior sedan competitors over to make sure they know how they feel about his win. It's a wonderful time in our sport. Alan Smallwood, what a display from not only Carter Metcalf, but all of our 22 competitors here tonight in tonight's feature race.
Yeah, that was an awesome main event, to say the least. There, Jared, that was awesome stuff. We're getting all the trophies and all the bits and pieces like that for finishing on the podium into position at the moment, along with sashes, and we've got it all for our junior sedan competitors that have finished inside the top 5 in the national title here at Alexandra. Got to get the Alexandra and District Speedway winners podium into position here. Looks an absolute treat, to say the least. Big thanks once again to our major sponsor, the Rassler Engineering, for supporting this weekend's SSA National Junior Sedan title.
And we must say also the Alexandra Speedway Club stood down here beside the podium. A very proud moment for all of them. And what a job they've done hosting this year's National Junior Sedan title. Alan Smallwood, I dare say proceedings not too far from getting underway.
Yeah, without further ado, we'll bring forward the first of our top 5 in this year's 2022 Rassler Engineering SSA National Junior Sedan title. I've got Rob Patterson from Rassler Engineering, also Greg Lynn, the CEO of Speedway Sedans Australia. To my left, we'll bring forward our 5th place getter in the Q7 from Maryborough. Let's hear it for Jaden Hancock. Jaden A brilliant weekend from yourself, a heat race win as well as plenty of podium positions. Got yourself to the first couple of rows for that main event. You must be pleased to bring home such a strong result against a quality field.
Yeah, thank you. I can't thank Mum and Dad enough for everything they do. Really wouldn't be here without them, or my sponsors, everyone. I'd like to thank my sponsors actually. LA Security, Redwood Productions, F-Word Speed Shop, GSR Bricklaying, Aaron Potts Contracting, BR's Exhaust, and all the volunteers and all the drivers for a great race.
Had a pretty fierce battle early in the race with Lockie Robbins, but unfortunately he come to grief. How did you see that from your vantage point?
Yeah, it was pretty scary, to be honest. It happened right in front of me. I'm surprised I actually got out of it, but I hope Lockie's okay, and thank you.
Well done on 5th place, Jaden.
Thank you.
So a round of applause for Jaden Hancock out of Queensland, 5th in this year's SSA National Junior Sedan title. 4th place, the Queensland champion from the Gympie Saloon Car Club. Let's have a big round of applause for Aidan Rigby. Aidan, come on down, brother. A fantastic result for yourself, 4th in the national title. You must be wrapped with that.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Wasn't expecting too much because we changed the motor this morning, but yeah, obviously XLs were just really good here. Just drove with what I had, and yeah, just like thank Mum, Dad, Grandma and Grandpa for coming, Papa for helping build our old motor. It's not so good anymore. Spency for building us the motor, Hamilton's for giving us the next one, and Nathan for helping out, and Gympie Auto Wreckers, Key Bay Engineering, Sprott Stainless Steel, GTR Fabrications, and Bridgestone Gympie.
All the best for your Queensland title defence in June at Maryborough.
Thank you.
There he is, Aidan Rigby, 4th in the national title here at Alexandra in Victoria. Now into our top 3. He threw everything at Kane Della. In fact, he was in 2nd for a few laps towards the end of the A-Main. The South Australian champion in the S45 charade. Let's hear it for Aaron Trenter, 3rd in the national title for 2022. Aaron, outstanding result for yourself. You threw everything at Kane Della in 2nd momentarily, but you put together 25 faultless laps around the Alexandra Speedway.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough track out there. Yeah, it was pretty rough, and yeah, in some places it was dry and wet and everything really. But yeah, big thanks to Nathan Thorne, Mum, Dad, the whole family. Yeah, all the track people, all the officials, yeah, Speedway Sedans, and everyone who puts this race together. Yeah.
Tell us about that battle with Kane in the concluding stages. That must have been a fun one.
Oh yeah, it was pretty tough out there, but yeah, he managed to get it off. So yeah, well done to him.
Well done on 3rd place, Aaron.
Cheers, thank you.
A round of applause for Aaron Trenter, 3rd in this year's national title. The runner-up in the WA 95 for KCLD Cleaning from the Goldfields in Western Australia. Let's hear it for Kane Della. Kane, well done on the runner-up position. You must be wrapped with the weekend you put together here in Victoria.
Yeah, yeah, that was a sick track out there. We weren't really realising where to run after that oil mark after the flip, but yeah, car got real hot, but I wasn't stopping. Congrats to Carter on the win and everyone else on their placing. Yeah, thanks to all my sponsors and everyone back home that's supporting me. Michael and the kids back there. All the other families that have supported me and keep calling me and texting me. Thanks to Murray for all the work on the car over the weekend. And sadly, he can't be here next weekend, but still that's right. But yeah, we'll be here next weekend, do it all again.
All the best for the Victorian title, Kane.
Cheers.
Kane Della, your runner-up in the national title for 2022. And it gives me great pleasure. Let's have a huge round of applause for the new SSA National Junior Sedan Champion from Mildura. We're right here in Victoria, Carter Metcalf, the V810 Hyundai XL. And over there, Carter, we got Rob from Rassler Engineering, the team. He gets not only the trophy and everything else, but he also gets the champion's belt. Fantastic initiative from the club here at Alexandra. Looks awesome. We're going to get plenty of photos with that around the waist. Get a couple of photos there first, Carter, before we'll have a chat to you. Carter, undefeated at the national title. I don't reckon, if you pinch yourself, do you think you're dreaming you couldn't have scripted it any better for yourself?
Oh, mate, I can't believe it. I got no words. I can't believe that I did this. I wasn't even thinking about getting into the A main. That was my goal. Getting on the podium, just pole. Got no words. Undefeated, it's good. It just feels amazing. Did it for Mildura, did it for everyone. This is a good feeling.
What was going through the brain? You obviously got out to an early lead. What were you thinking going in those early laps? You had a stoppage on the opening lap, and then after 14 laps, the yellow lights come on again. Well, the red lights in actual fact came on. What were you thinking during that stoppage?
During the stoppage, I was just focused on the temps. I just didn't want it to get above like 200. But when it restarted, I thought he was behind me the whole way. Mate. I got no words. But with 5 laps to go or whatever it was, I lost brakes, so that was fun.
Yeah, I don't reckon you're going to stop from that point, but must be a huge amount of people you'd like to thank for making not only your racing career possible, but this weekend in particular, what it is for yourself.
I don't even know who to thank. I just like to thank Mum, Dad, just get me around everywhere, getting as good as I am. Travis, doing the engine. Will, being my little crew chief. Same as Luke. Thank everyone back to Mildura. This is amazing.
And just finally, you're going to head into next weekend's Victorian title as the national champion. That must be exciting to think you're going to put the A1 on the side of the Hyundai and race around Alexandra again in just a few days' time.
Yeah, hopefully I can do the same thing in the Vic, but who knows, just go into it with a clear head and just see what happens.
Well done, Carter.
Thank you.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The new SSA National Junior Sedan Champion, Carter Metcalf, and our top 5, Kane Della, Aaron Trenter, Aidan Rigby, and Jaden Hancock. One more round of applause, Alexandra, for our top 5 in this year's Rassler Engineering SSA National Junior Sedan title. We've got lemonade bottles to spray down here, Jared.
Clear the trophies.
Drivers, so
clear the trophies.
I'm getting well away from that. Here they go. They're going to shake them up. This is unique. This is a new one for me. I've never seen this in a junior title, but it's a great idea to say the least.
I hope it works. This is a hell of a build-up, Smalley.
I reckon they're going to have to give it. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. How about that, Smalley? A lemonade shower.
To quote Ryan Harris, that was cute.
That was cool. The whole weekend was cool, Smalley. What an event. A massive thank you to our host for this weekend's Rassler Engineering SSA National Junior Sedan title. We can't thank, on behalf of Speedway Sedans Australia, we can't thank the Alexandra and District Sporting Car Club enough for everything they've done. And what a weekend it has been as we take some pictures from our aerial shot above the very big crowd assembled here of friends, family and competitors on the front straightaway. We'll go through all the photos and celebrations here trackside, and once you join me back in the Tower Allen Small, we'll sign off from our Speedway Sedans live coverage powered by Pro One Race Parts. But post-race checks and celebrations are plenty to come as we take some more pictures trackside. Plenty of handshakes amongst the competitors and wonderful to see some goodwill and some celebrations amongst all of our podium getters over the course of the weekend. A pretty special weekend, especially for young Carter Metcalf in the number 10 machine, getting all the photos there with Napier Photography. And Speedway Sedans Australia Media. And we're going to have our street stock drivers out here for their podium presentation. For their Go Switch, Go feature they had a little bit earlier on.